we have done everything that we have to implement. Like we have implemented different modules for different tasks. Now we will try to integrate them with the RE framework. As this is there, you can see the default RE framework comes with these options. You can replace this with your process, recipe, scraping, process, and any process description you need. So it starts with initialization, as we know, this particular state, and here the system exception will be assigned nothing, and this particular flow will be run first time. Okay, whenever we are just triggering the robot, it will be run for only one time. Here it will try to read the configuration file and will try to get that data into a dictionary. Like as we have already discussed in the RPA challenge process, which we have built using RE framework, you can refer that particular subject to know about this particular concept of RE framework's configuration file, and that matter init all settings. Once we have that, we'll be getting the dictionary out from that particular XAML as outconfig, and we will assign that into a config file which is available in our main. Once that is done, the flow will pass through this. This is something that we have to use when we will be using the orchestrator, so you can just neglect it for now. Once that is done, the XAML is there to kill any processes if there are any. This is there to add logs into our particular log file. We are trying to add a log file to it with the name logf, business process name. What is the process? We'll be getting it from the config file. You can just refer to that particular name. Once that is done, here we are. As we have already discussed, there's a place where we will try to initialize all the application we need to proceed further. If I just open this, it's empty right now. What I will try to do is, because the first task that we have to do is to take the input from the user, I have to drag this over, and let's see what are the arguments available. Nothing, right? So let's go over here and open this particular thing, and we have written, we are here asking the user to input, select a particular kind of recipe. It can be fruits, vegetables, or meat, and the choice from there will be propagated to this. Okay, here he'll be choosing the fruits under the fruit section, vegetables under the vegetable section. But whatever we are receiving from the user is staying in this particular XAML. But for our RE framework to work, we have to get this particular input from the user from this XAML to init all applications, from this to the main. So these are the three transitions that should happen now. For that, because we have the output of this in a variable called recipe, we should delete this particular thing and create it as an argument, because we want to take that particular thing outside this particular XAML. The direction of it will be out. Keeping that in mind, what we can do is just replace this with that particular argument. It's out recipe. That's done. Similarly, replace all this with in recipe. Hope you understand why we have made that change. Because variables can be used within the XAMLs, but if you want to get some data outside of the XAML to another XAML, we have to use an argument. Here also, out argument. Okay, so what you can do is you can just remove this message boxes right here and then come back to this. So here just click on this. Now there is an argument coming out from this particular XAML. Just save that here also, but this is not the main file for us. We have to take that particular value to this particular main, this particular screen, or this particular XAML. To do that, here also instead of creating a variable, you have to be creating an out recipe value. This should be out direction. Now just try to assign that here, because from this flow we are trying to get the value into init all applications. Here also it's out recipe. That's done. Now we have to get that particular value to main, right? So let's go here and see where that XAML is. Here it is. And here also we have to create, but this is a variable right here because this is the uppermost XAML file. So here we can create a variable. Now once that is created, just click on this and you should be able to see that recipe. Okay, so as we are done with that, let's go and see what is happening right here. I'm clicking on this. Let me keep a breakpoint right here. Okay, and this is not needed right now for us. I'm just trying to debug it once. Debug the file. Once I see that it has passed through all the XAMLs, okay, about this, all the instructions, and right now it has stopped here. If I click on step into, it is moving into that particular XAML. From there, it is trying to log a message saying opening applications right over here. And then now it's trying to go into this particular XAML. We are into this right now, step into, and it should ask us for a prompt. Here it is. Let's select fruits. Now it is here. It should go into this particular case as we expect. Yeah, it is there. So there is another prompt. Let's say apple and click on OK. Fine. Now it should come out of that particular XAML back to this init all applications. From this it will move on to main. Step into, step into, step into. It is here right now because we had a variable to which we have assigned that particular argument, recipe. Let's see the value of recipe. It's apple. Okay, these are the runtime values that you can see under the locals window. So we have got the value from this innermost XAML to the topmost XAML. So right now we have the value of the output or the input from the user that we have got. Let's further use it. Let's see how to use it further.